Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Critical Role. No, I'm joking. Oh man, don't sue me, Matt Mercer. How are you guys? Hello, team.
I'm good. I'm good.
Hello.
As you can see, we're missing another person. One of our beloved team members has decided that he would drop, and we wanted to respect his wishes. So this will be us from then on. So I'm excited for you guys here. I'm excited for you guys to watch. Uh, just as a refresher, I am Saquon. I'm the dungeon master. I do all things love, trauma, and fight scenes. All those things. That's what I do. Uh, who's next? Above me is David.
What's up? Uh, Connor, the cleric of the group, I guess the IT guru. Next would be Shaq.
Jack.
Hello, I'm Shaq. I'm snarky. Well, Azurus is snarky, and that's what I'm here for.
She's snarky too.
Cheers.
And next we got Riley.
Hello there.
I am Ramanor, our paladin, who
Whoa.
will absolutely to destroy everything and not get hit, ever.
You got hit
Never
last
get
time
hit.
we played.
You did
No,
get
no,
hit.
that didn't
We
happen.
got hit by twigs.
I remember.
Never forget.
You don't remember Ramanor peeked his head out the door, and I was like, "Hey, does a 30 hit?"
No. I remember a door being torn off the hinges. That's all I remember.
Remember bopping some magical fox upside the head with the freaking door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I look forward to the time you guys come into contact with that fox again. All right.
That's
Are
how
we
you
ready
get
to jump?
excited for that too.
Are we ready to jump into this?
Yeah.
Oh, let's wait for Shaq to finish our Starbucks.
It was gonna be a while. Continue. My
Uh,
pink drink, everybody.
So we're gonna do a time skip, friends. We're gonna go forward in time a week or two. Whilst all this is going on, Vinthana, our character formerly played by Sean, has gone through this traumatic experience inside the Ironwood Gauntlet, so much so that she felt like she needed to seek out her father. And so, doing that, whilst they were questioning the game master, they finally decided that she, Vinthana, would go ahead and search out her father on her own, and hopes to clear some things up in her own life. With that, she has left the team, and she has gained enough trust in Connor and Ramanor to trust them with her sister. And after questioning the game master, the team has realized that only thing the game master knows is that at this point the world is probably in danger, and they just don't know how much. The game master tells them never to cross that northern ridge up into the next city above, but just to continue on to their statements. You guys are still in the city of Orsted. You've only been there for about a week, so you're pretty well acquainted with what's going on. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I know for
Our
a fact.
next
Go ahead.
next mission was
To the east.
no, it was east but north.
Whiskey.
Get whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
and then east of that was the mission for our cart.
Yep.
To be paid off.
We were supposed
Where
to
in
go
the city
to
are we
the
right now?
stronghold. Or
You're just in Orsted. You guys know your way around the city now at this point.
We're just vibing in some corner of the city.
Yep.
I'm gonna assume Ramanor does not get looks here.
Does not get what?
Looks,
No.
considering what is it called? Aura? No, the
Yeah. No weird looks. People have seen a furbolg once or twice.
we're also in the city of the circus city. So
Yeah.
definitely
The
there's at
city
least a
known
furbolg.
as Desolé, colloquially.
no, it's Orsted.
But no, Connor would end up mentioning to the group like, hey, let's head east. Let's go towards the stronghold. Let's deal with that stuff that we need to.
We're getting the whiskey first, or figuring out how to pay for the God.
Exactly.
I think the whiskey's on the way. It's to be a shorter distance there, and then head towards whatever place it was called again.
Wherever that is.
The Wary Stronghold.
So big map, man. There's so many places. Yes.
I like to build maps. If you become one of our patrons, you can have all of the maps that I have made. You can see how I have made them. You can see the names that I have given them. I use World Anvil. This video is not sponsored. All right, guys. So you guys are going to go ahead and you're going to run towards the Warrior Stronghold, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So as you guys decide you want to leave the city, you start to get loaded onto the cart and everything, and you guys start to go out. And you guys are going to go ahead and just start to follow the coastline almost. You can see it's a road that looks out onto the Science Sea up north, and you can see far into the distance almost a sheet of ice, as if that's just super far north, and like that's you getting to one of the polar sides of this planet. As you follow through towards the Wary Stronghold, can I have Connor roll a d4 for me?
Do I hear combat?
A2.
The immediate sus.
All right, too. Connor, can you just go ahead and speak up and start telling a story about your childhood?
Ah, son of a. Yes. Beloved childhood. Where to start? Do I start with the multitude of children within my family that, for some odd reason, we were all cousins and yet thrown everywhere and every which way? Neat little story would be the time that we all decided we're going to go down to the valley and play Poke the Bugbear. Yes, it was 15 of us that went. And the actual guards came in like 20 minutes later, realized what the hell we were doing, and yeah, I do not want to go back into a set of stables for more than 20 minutes after that. The amount of dung that has to be taken out from what it was is just not fair.
As you guys are going through that and you guys understand the story that he's given you and all, you guys start to look out across everything, and I'm looking for a roll here. 1 second. Cool. Ramanor, you notice just out and about that there are just a lot of fish kind of like near the shore of the waters that you're running towards the Raric Stronghold. Do you want to do anything, or you just want to marvel at that piece that's happening there?
Are they like acting weird, or are they just fish swimming?
Give me a perception check.
Yes, when he says, give me a perception check.
It's a
Yes.
19.
It's a 19. You notice that they are all spinning in circles. They're swimming in circles for some reason.
Guys. See those fish over there? Does that look weird to you?
Connor with his passive 27 perception.
Yeah? Give me a nature check, Connor.
I was waiting for that.
Does Ramanor get one as well?
Sure, yeah.
I feel like
It's
Az
in,
is just sitting in the
18.
corner snickering as she cleans the hilt of her sunblade.
15.
Okay, you guys know that this is not normal for fish to just kind of swim near the top of the water in circles. This makes no sense as to why they're doing this. Do you want to pay it any mind, or are you just going to keep going?
Who's holding the reins? This is an important question.
Probably Ramanor.
Okay. Ramanar, can you please steer us away from the coastline a little bit more?
Well, that's such a beautiful view. I mean,
I understand that, but that's odd. And I don't want to be close enough for anything to kind of decide we're a bigger meal than those fish.
alright,
Okay.
okay, if you want me to. And he won't steer away from it.
Okay, as you guys continue to start steering away and going a little further away from the coastline, Connor, you remember just from your week spending in Orsted that you spent some time playing with your gauntlet, and you realize that all of the gems on the gauntlet can actually help you telepathically connect with whoever you give a gem with, too.
Mhm.
So at that point, you're pretty used to that ability from your gauntlet, and but something happens as you start to look around, look at your gauntlet, and you start to be able to hear the internal thoughts of Raminor without even soliciting them.
That's a beautiful tree.
What?
Nice day.
Ramanar, can you please focus on our travels and not how nature's looking right now?
The horses know where to take us.
Give me an animal handling check, Raminor. I want to see how well they know how well you're able to tell them what to do.
It's an advantage. 14.
Okay, they have a general idea of what direction you're headed. Yeah, sure. You can say that confidently.
Yeah, he with his animal being able to talk to animals, it's an advantage.
Yeah.
Just so you know, that's why I did that.
Okay, this is just weird. Why do I have you in my head? Why do I
Ah.
have you in my head?
What was that?
You, your thoughts.
That must be interesting.
Yes.
Pretty much empty, except
Oh.
for him commenting to himself on how things look.
You notice, Connor, that you do not hear Azurus' thoughts, though.
He would have given as a sending stone.
Probably, yeah. I'm assuming you have.
Mm-hmm.
Raminor
And
has, what was the
Raminor
thing
has the
Raminor
necklace.
Yep.
Raminor, can you switch the necklace with Az, please? And Az, can you give him the sending stone? I just want to see something.
Oh,
All right.
Okay. Takes it off, holds it out to her.
Okay, cool. As you guys switch, you still hear Raminor's thoughts. You cannot hear Az's thoughts.
Well, this is wonderful.
Kind of weird.
Plot twist: Az has no thoughts.
This is beautiful.
Az is not capable of thinking.
Ouch.
Only fighting.
No think, only stab.
Pretty sad. The big dumb boy is the one who can think.
She's just staring at Connor like,
I just wanted to see if that would work because the ooh, look at the pretty flowers is just kind of getting to me right now.
I can't
What? I
promise
mean,
you my
look at
thoughts
the
will be
flowers. They're
any
beautiful,
better,
aren't they?
but I see what you mean.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for your loss.
As you guys, whoa! As you guys are going through the pathway, you guys come to a little place that seems like it's a little pond. You see a little brick and mortar house off the pond, and you can see smoke coming out of the chimney, indicating that there's someone inside this house. This is just off the road, and veering off to the other direction, which would be your right, is just going towards the Weary Stronghold into some more trees and foliage. What is the decision you're making?
Stop at the house. Get some supplies. Ask directions.
Fine. Just hope it's a friendly stranger. It is
Knowing our luck? Well, no, I should say knowing my luck? No, definitely not.
She actually kind of disliked it.
Did you want me to stop or you want me to keep going?
To the house.
Find out a little bit more
Okay.
about the area.
Ramona will pull up to the house, park the cart.
All right. What do you guys do
Look-
from there?
You know what's funny? Ramonor doesn't actually use the reins.
Okay.
You just like, can you stop right over there? And then the horses will just go.
So when we get there,
Hop off the thing.
yeah, Connor's just
Uh-huh.
gonna hop down too and just calmly
Okay.
walk up to the door and just politely.
Once you do that, and like you notice that for some reason, Az is being unnaturally compliant to what you're saying, Connor, as if she's like trusts you a little more than you remember her. And then, like the snap of your finger, you can officially hear her thoughts as well.
She's just examining the area, taking in the information. There's nothing other than that. It's a very soldier-like train of thought, though. The way that she processes
She's
the
like, yes, a clearing of trees 40 yards away. This is a house. It looks like there's someone in there. I suspect 3.
Two clicks down, there's a wolf.
Three
Wind
clicks
speed.
down, there's an eagle taking a shit.
You're
Can I
not going
do
to.
a perception check?
Sure.
'Cause I want to know what's going on with this house.
Connor, did you?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
15.
15. You look around the house and you see the house is warmly taken care of, as if there's someone who not only lives here but cares about the place that they're living. You see that the ground is nicely tended to. There are flowers all around the house. There's smoke coming up from the chimney. It doesn't look like it's fresh smoke, as in like there's a fresh fire, but it seems like a fire was freshly put out. You can smell bread in the air. As well as the seawater wafting in from the gulf that you're standing, or the pond that you're standing in near. And you can see that the clearing of trees, and that it ends about 4 or 5 clicks out. A click is a kilometer for those are people who don't know. 4 or 5 clicks out.
And there's
So,
no other houses around.
just this one.
Ramonor has been distracted by the flowers, and Connor can hear inside of his head, "Oh, it's a nice color."
So
Oh,
wait,
I
now,
got those at
just
home.
to clarify, do I hear both of their thoughts?
Yes.
Can they hear mine?
No.
Oh,
Oh, that's even better.
so she just takes all that information and kind of tilts her head. It almost seems too nice here, but
Yes, yes it is.
to each their own.
It is almost
Kind
too
of
nice.
reminds
I
me of
agree.
home.
But hear me out. Fresh bread.
We do like fresh bread. Okay, so after
Those
Connor
sound pretty
knocks
good.
on the
With a glass of
door,
milk too.
you see an old, almost decrepit man answer the door.
This
Hey.
is a trap.
You hear it creak open. He says, "Hello,
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, and you? We don't catch too many humans around here."
Yes, we're just traveling through. Heading off to take care of some things. Just wanted to know a little bit more of the lay of the land.
Well, if you're headed this way, you could only be coming from the Sand Hills or Orsted, and you could only be headed towards that castle up the way.
Yes.
What is it you want with those dwarves? Weapons or whiskey?
The whiskey, mainly.
Ah,
Can I roll insight on this old man?
sure.
Old man's race?
He is a dwarf
Wow.
himself.
I don't know anything about this man's.
Yeah,
swimming
he's
sticks.
like a grandma, but a man. You know, like you look at him and you're like, wow, you can bake me cookies. Like that's what you think of him when you see
Aw.
him as. And he looks at you, Connor. He's like, well, what's it that you want with my home?
Well, we just wanted to know what to expect. Is there any kind of trouble up ahead that may have been affecting you all, or is there some kind of news of something that lives around here that you guys are affected by?
He says, I
Just
can.
sniffing the air because bread.
He looks at you. He's like, I can take care of myself. But what forest doesn't have a couple of creatures here and there? You
Of
know.
course.
Um.
None
He
of
looks,
them, unless
he
it's
look-
haunted.
he looks over Ramonor and he says, "But it seems like you've got someone who can handle that."
Connor
You
internally
hear it as his head. Ouch.
Connor internally doesn't know if he should take that as an insult directed at himself or not. But he decides to take a deep breath anyway and just goes, "Yes, you're right. I do have somebody here that could take care of it. Yes."
He thinks.
Anyway,
He looks down for a second. He's like, "Well, come. I just made bread. I just put the fire out. Come eat. Are you okay with that? Would you like to eat? I am not the stabby kind, if you know what I mean."
hey,
It's
Connor,
just kind of,
Connor just nods.
we'll see about that, but bread. And waltzes in.
It'll be the death. Okay. Connor just walks in and politely goes, "Thank you for the offer."
Of course. Take a seat. As you guys walk into his house, you see that his house is pretty ornate. It's pretty in the terms cottage core. You see that everything is either made out of wood or stone in this home. You see some very well kept countertops, very well kept tables and chairs and things of that nature. He waltzes behind the counter into the kitchen and he comes out with a piping hot piece of loaf of bread that he just finished making. It seems that it's freshly coated in butter. You look around and you see pictures of him, of children, of a man that seems like it was him in his younger years. What do you guys do?
Eat.
So, are you spending time out here because you like nature, or you're just kind of the lonesome type?
He looks over and he's like, I used to run an apothecary. I don't anymore. I thought I'd come out here and just settle down.
Ah, quiet life. It's kind of all the people from my home, so I understand.
Yes. And he sees Az just tear into the loaf of bread. He's like, hungry, I see.
I cannot remember the last time I ate warm bread.
Well, have your fill.
Oh, did you perhaps have some milk?
Oh my god.
Let me check. And he runs into the back, comes back with a little glass bottle tapped with leather, and he says, I have goat's milk.
Ah, reminds me of home.
And
This
he,
whole
he-
place reminds me of home.
he sets the whole bottle down. He says, make yourselves at home. There's nothing really to be afraid of here. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Didn't get your name.
Tal.
Spell that.
Tal.
Cool.
Well, it's nice to meet you, and you're quite generous, so thank you. You'll start eating some bread and drinking some milk.
Tal looks over at Connor and he says, You don't seem like the trusting type.
No, there's a story in my family that, unless it's made in front of me and I can see what's used, never trust the food or the drink inside of anybody's home, unless you're at a tavern.
He laughs and he says, I'm sure that comes from poking bugbears, huh? And he just walks off.
Who are you?
I'm Tal.
Uh-huh. And I know and how do you know that about me?
About you, what about you?
You just said clearly that's the same as poking bugbears.
Yeah. You ever seen what's in a bugbear's stomach? They'd eat anything and everything.
Hmm. I don't tempt bugbears like that, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, okay. He looks and he's like, bread, milk. I can make it in front of you if you like.
No, I'm fine with my breakfast.
As is just looking between them, and her thoughts just like, I'm hungry. Just want tofu.
Amara's head is clear. He's just eating.
She's just eating. She's just like, and I thought I'm the one with trust issues.
There's just an eye twitch with that one.
He's just kind of jaunting in the kitchen, cleaning up. You can hear the clanging of dishes and water. You can hear that he's just kind of washing dishes at this point.
Az takes a piece of bread and flicks it at Connor.
So how long have you been around here?
Uh,
Ignores the bread coming at him.
about 20 years now.
Can you tell us anything about the dwarves?
They're old acquaintances. I tend not to trifle with them anymore. I can give you the directions there. They're not very friendly to outsiders, though.
What's that?
You try living up in a secluded place for a long time and having some of the most coveted weapons and drink in the land and not hating everyone.
Can't
Can
argue
we get
that.
a name of that celestial guy? Can
What's up?
we get a name for the celestial guy?
No.
No, he didn't give us a name. Is there anything that they particularly like that appeases them?
They do enjoy coin just as much as the next one.
How much
Anything better
coin
than
is
that?
it for a bottle of whiskey?
They charge quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
But they also take favors. They tend to send people on missions. They tend to be very hard. I don't know how strong all of you are, but they tend to send people on pretty tough missions. Have any of you ever fought a dragon, by any chance?
Not that I can remember.
No.
But a
Looks over-
wyvern?
He looks over it as you fought a wyvern. Try fighting 5 blindfolded. That's about as bad as it is fighting a dragon.
Scales are a pretty penny.
Indeed, they are. They are known for their dragon scale armor and their whiskey.
As his internal train of thought goes, well, we don't have the money. Either I'm going to have to sneak around and use my sticky fingers, or we get to go kill dragons.
I'm sure there's other things you can do though besides killing a dragon. I heard there are some things on the pesky island just north of them that they want it cleared out as well.
May end up doing that instead of killing the dragon. Because where are we gonna find a dragon for them?
She
Oh, wait.
finishes
They
bread
made us
and it's
tell
just
us.
like, we're doing favors. For favors. For favors at this point.
I mean, if
Yes.
you don't have to pay for it, I don't see a problem.
Why not?
Not like we have much of a choice because we do not have the coin for any of the things we need.
He comes out and he's holding 3 vials and he just hands them all to you, Connor. He's like, these are healing potions. Test them. They're for you.
Okay. Hmm.
The amount of worry that just came through Connor at this point, it's like just been giving these. He's just like, why?
Reaches out and just, gimme.
He hands her one.
She's gonna use detect magic.
He hands all 3 of them to her.
She's going to use Detect Magic, which has a range of 30 feet. So what does she
Hello?
get? Hello?
Hello there.
I think he
I'm
froze
sorry.
for a second.
I froze.
You
Yeah,
did.
I did. I froze
You
pretty
went
hard.
black on my screen. I was like,
Yeah.
I apologize.
anyway,
Let's
she's
talk
going to use Detect Magic.
on the potions.
It has a range of 30 feet, but she's looking at the potions right now.
Okay, if you're focusing on the potions, they seem like they're regular magical healing potions.
Sus. Okay. And then she'll be like, looks all right. Hands them back over to Connor, and then she's gonna kind of glance around the room. It's only
As you-
30 feet, so I don't know how big
I
the
know.
room is.
I know. As you look around the room, you see that there are other things that are imbued with magic in this house. You spot a flower. You spot an old, what looks like rusted sword. You see that there is a jar full of what looks like to be dead insects that also seems to be magical. That's all you can find.
She'll look to Tao. There's a lot of magical things lying around here.
Ah, yes, yes. With an apothecary comes a lot of magical things. Comes with a lot of learning how to enchant. And he points over to a jar full of dead insects. He's like, that's my most recent one. Would you like to check it out? He gets a little excited at realizing that there's magical items in his house.
And she just kind of smiles because he's kind of adorable. And it's like, I'm curious to know what it is, so I don't see why not.
He walks over. He kind of jaunts over his little small body, and he like reaches up at his full body length and like pulls down a jar. And he walks back over to you. You can see that it's like a bunch of dead bees, and he opens it up, and then he pulls one out, and then he closes the jar. And then after he does that, he like slams his hand on the bee, and right as he does that, the bee seems to turn back to life, and the bee is alive. He says, I can make a whole swarm of these, but the problem is I have to use a ton of magic to bring them back. So they don't work as well as they should, but yeah. And then he takes one bee and he crushes it, and it's back, and it's dead again, and he puts it back in the jar. It's not the bee that's magical, it's the jar. He has like a giant smile on his face. He's like,
That's actually pretty interesting. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Az is kind of fascinated. She's too curious not to be.
There's a
Too
little
high
bit
of
of
an itch.
sadness to Ramonor when he kills the
Who
bee.
gives me? Who gives me? Az just kind of
He's like,
pat.
Okay. Do either one of you two have any more questions for the man?
I'm curious about the sword.
he looks to you, he looks at the sword, he says, don't ask questions about that.
Can I roll insight again?
Sure.
It's probably going to go just as bad.
I think Connor's gonna want to roll inside of down too, because he's just like, ooh, this is.
20! Dirty 20!
Dirty 20. You can see that there's a little hurt there when you ask about that.
Like betrayal kind of hurt?
You can see some sadness in his eyes. You can see a little
Like
anger.
he lost somebody?
You can see a little anger. You can see some unresolved feelings there.
Hmm.
And he says it again. He's like, "Yes, I prefer you didn't ask about that."
Well, then what about the flower? She's going to think about it, but she's not going to ask. About the
You asked about the flower, right?
Yeah, she's like, she's like trying to change the subject while she's still thinking about the sword.
Okay, cool. He goes back and his entire body lengths again, puts the jar of bees up, and then he walks over to a table and he grabs a flower, and he's like twirling in his hands, and he says, "This is a flower of gentle repose." This will keep a body completely preserved until you remove the flower from the body. This is for families who have a family member that has died in battle and needs to stay preserved until they can see the body. I did this as a favor to an old friend, and he puts the flower back where it was.
That's,
That's a
very
very
kind
sweet
of you.
favor.
For everyone who's watching and doesn't know what Gentle Repose is, Gentle Repose is a spell that keeps dead bodies from decaying. So it's a flower that's enchanted with Gentle Repose that as long as a dead body is holding the Gentle Repose flower, their body will not decay at all.
Also allows you to extend the duration for resurrection spells.
Exactly. Exactly.
For Connor, because Connor can hear her thoughts. There's this brief thought about family and death, and then it's just shoved back in a corner and it's gone.
Well, this has become interesting. Well, we will head out. Thank you for the food and his milk. Bless the milk.
And the
Ah.
advice.
And the advice.
He looks, she's like, well, I don't know what advice I gave, but if you think it was helpful, and he gives you a thumbs up.
Well, you at least told us what to expect. So, yes. Sound advice. Thank you.
And he packs up the loaf and gives it to Az, and he says, "You be on your way."
She kind of takes it. She looks kind of surprised, and then, thank you, and then puts it in her bag as she walks out. She just like, "Meh," awkward feelings go.
All of it's in Connor's head. Yay.
Bread.
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 Healing. Nice. No.
You can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. D&D Beyond just went down, I guess.
Cool. She's gonna yeet herself out the door.
And Connor's gonna try to push Romanor out the door too. He's just like, yes,
Yep.
we need to get going before anything else. Let us go.
Nope, Ramanor wasn't going to fight.
Yes, but he's just standing there, so he's just like, let us go, big guy. Let's go.
You guys walk out, and you find your carriage just parked neatly outside the cottage. What do you
Have a
guys do?
good day.
You guys have a good day too. Don't be strangers. Drop by on your way back.
Will do. Thank you.
Right. Just taking the reins again.
Ramanor.
Connor
I'm in
just
the back.
gets up top and
Go.
Aminal handling?
Animal handling.
Aminal.
Aminals. Manimals.
Okay. Discord. What's going on?
no, we could see you, we could hear you.
Oh, it's taking forever.
There you go. 19. Yeah, you're good. The horses are like, hey, it's Ramanor. Yeah, Ramanor.
Hey, it's that weird guy who can talk to us.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go back to that direction he's been telling us we should go. All right, so as you guys get back onto the cart and the horses continue on deeper into the trees, headed towards the Wary Stronghold, you can see that you're kind of in a combination of a beachside scene along with a, trees. You're kind of in between both. This time you're getting closer to the Wary Stronghold, and you're coming into what looks like to be like an old Victorian style village. At the end of this village is the castle that you guys believe you are looking for, but this village, after walking into it, it seems that this village is in a time period hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years in the past, as if almost time never touched this place.
Sus.
Odd.
You see people walking around. They are all dressed as if it were a time period not now in the past. They all speak as if they were a time period in the past, and yeah, that's what you get from just looking around.
We just hear a conversation. I say so.
I do say.
I do say.
Ramanor is not questioning any of this.
As a sus.
Connor's looking around.
Honor, you see people dressed in ways that like you've only read about in textbooks.
Connor just hears Ramanor's thoughts. Oh, this is some nice looking houses.
As his thoughts are sus, and she turns to him, just kind of. This doesn't feel right to me.
I've read books about this. This is thousands of years old.
Don't like this.
I don't like it either.
Well,
Connor, with your passive perception as you guys are going through, you hear someone saying, I hear someone found a new type of wood. They call it ironwood. Someone's going to go try and plant a forest of it. Connor, only you hear this.
Connor's just gonna look. Can Connor see the speaker?
Yes, you can see it's a woman. An early 20s human woman.
Connor's gonna jump off of the cart and walk up to her.
where the.
All right.
Hello, miss.
Hello.
Uh,
You're wearing strange clothing. Are you an adventurer?
yes, we are. We just came from quite a distance, and I heard that you just mentioned somebody found some new wood, ironwood that they're calling it.
Yeah, they call it ironwood. It seems to be impervious to fire.
By
Have you heard of it?
I heard rumors of such a thing. By chance, can you point me out to where this person is?
This person was passing through just like you guys. They're not here anymore. There is near the Sea of Euron. There's this giant castle. There seems to have been a king that lives there. I believe so. And I would stay weary though. He seems like he's like a necromancer or something like that. But he's near the Sea of Euron, and I think he has some ironwood there if you're looking for it. It's very rare though. It's pretty new. Not too many people know about it.
Yes, of course.
Can Az hear this, or can Ramanor hear this from the cart?
You guys can hear this conversation. The cart stopped. He's popped off the cart.
Ramanor's not listening.
Az is listening, and she's just kind of like looking around. And the
With
thought
your
is,
knowledge of geography, the place that she's talking about is what's now, to you guys at least, known as the Lost Hive of Necromancy.
I figured as much.
Yep.
as in her head is like, should probably ask somebody what year it is.
Miss,
She doesn't really hear thoughts.
pray tell, can you tell me what... We've been traveling for quite a while, and we haven't... Our days have just kind of like mixed together. Can you tell me what year it is?
Well, it's the year of Scion, really. You guys know that this is not the case. This is the year of Balak. The year is about 2,000 years in the past that she's speaking of.
Yes, thank you. That's what I needed to know. Can you tell me about we actually supposed to bring a message to the castle just past the town. Can you tell me a little bit about it? I want to make sure.
The Weary Stronghold.
Yes.
Yeah, the dwarves live there. There's nothing. What kind of message do you need to bring to them? It seems they've just been making their weapons and their whiskey as normal.
Oh, it was just a request. There's a specific request for something. We didn't.
It's at the
Personally,
edge of-
I'd.
It's at the edge of the city.
Okay. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
And Connor's gonna walk back to the cart. He's gonna get in.
We just stumbled into Ren Fair.
And Connor's just gonna look at Ramen and be like, get us
Oh.
to the castle. And then he's
Okay.
gonna look back to Zurus. And you were right in thinking, asking about the year.
How did you know what I was thinking?
The gauntlet. And apparently the necklace.
No.
Don't
She's
worry,
gonna-
I still have his thoughts in my head too.
You poor thing.
Yes.
As you guys head closer and closer to the stronghold, you guys realize that there is a larger and larger guard presence the closer you get there. One of the guards steps in front of the horses. The horses screech to a halt, and he says, "Halt! What is it that you want here?"
I kind of sent here for whiskey, but that was why somebody else were trying to get it for him.
He looks at you and says, "Who is it that wants whiskey from the Wary stronghold?" Not
I
many
didn't
know
catch
of
his
that.
name, but some celestial guy.
Celestial, you say?
Uh-huh.
There aren't many Celestials that live in this land.
I don't know.
Yes,
Ran
we didn't
across
catch
him?
his name. But he's an old drunk. He actually specifically requested the whiskey from.
Recall what he looked like.
It's an old, scraggly man. He, even though he's old, his skin seems to have been glowing the entire time you knew him.
He will relay that.
Yeah, he's got like a very well kept gray beard. Same with his hair. He seems to be in decent physical shape, even though the fact he was just drunk off his ass the entire time you guys were talking to him.
Raminer will relay that to Guardman.
Okay, he says that describes a celestial, but that doesn't convince me that I should let you into my stronghold. You can make a request.
Okay, I request that you can be led into your stronghold.
Give me a perception check. Not perception, persuasion.
15.
He looks at you and he says, "We'll take that as your official request. It'll be processed in a day or two."
So
Could it
long.
be done a little bit quicker? We got another mission east of here to,
Listen,
What was this he
before
called?
this progresses any further, we've already been told that by a man named Tal, who lives a little bit out of town, in a small little hut, that we could offer our services to do you all a favor as payment for the whiskey.
Give me a persuasion check.
I want to summon Katai to
I
give
have a
me
6.
advantage.
He says, "A day or two," and he turns around and walks away.
That was not going to take counts of that. I was saying in the meantime of actually waiting for that request, we could at least do this for you.
We were waiting at we're sitting at this gate, yeah. Like
Yeah,
in the building.
You're not at the gate that would lead to the stronghold itself. You're inside the Victorian town that sits just below the
Yeah.
stronghold.
And the gate's closed, I'm guessing.
Yes. There are guards everywhere.
Haz is going to summon Katai in her lap and is then going to instruct him, and he'll hop off the cart and just kind of start walking around under the gate because he is a lizard and lizards will skitter everywhere. And then she's just going to sit there and get comfortable and start using his senses.
Give me a stealth check.
For Katai.
Slide it. Yeah, give me a stealth check.
Hold on, let me pull up Lizard stats. I have this pinned in my browser. That is not great. Nine.
They notice you summon Katai into your lap, and there says
Oh, for. Oh, did you meet? Oh, me stealth check, not the
both.
lizard.
Both.
Oh, let me
So-
make one because I'm much better at that.
And then the lizard as well. So the 9 goes for Katai.
Yeah, no, I. Sleight of hand or stealth?
Sleight of hand for you.
30.
Okay, cool. It seems like the lizard just appears at the gate. But one of the guards notices the lizard, and let me see.
Lizard blips.
Let me
Does
see.
he hate lizards or no? This is the
Oh
real question.
my gosh.
I'm
Please
going
kill my
to see.
lizard.
I'm going to see if he can tell if it's magical or not. That's
Just looks
Arcana.
like a lizard. No, she summoned him. So she, sleight of hand, summoned him in her lap.
Yeah, he knows
And
that.
then had him-
He knows that's a summon. And he's gonna. I mean, I can send you a picture of this natural 20. If you
No,
want.
it's,
But
Ouch.
if this man looks aggressive in any way, Katai will disappear.
he looks at the lizard, and he looks at your team, and he says, "This is yours. Get rid of it."
And Katai poofs. As Azura sends him
And then
to.
he looks at you again, and he holds up a piece of paper. He says, "This is your request. 2 days." And he turns back around.
Well,
We will take a break.
okay.
Friends, thanks for showing up. Follow our socials. Become a patron if you can. If you can't, we get it. It's okay. Continue to watch. I'm sure those of you who are watching have gotten pulled in a little bit to this little thing that we got going on here. I've had 3 weeks to plan this one episode, so I'm hoping it's going to be fun for them. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back to it, and we're going to finish out our session for the night, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys stick around. I want to see you here.
And we're back, folks. Hi, how
Welcome
are you?
to
Missed
Twisted
us?
Perception Session Part 2. Session, I forget what episode we're on. 5?
7.
7. Wow. We're on episode 7, Part 2. Hello, friends. Wow. Our friends, our team has recently stumbled into a city that seems to be about 2,000 years in the past. Yeah.
So weird. So
Sus.
odd.
Let's see what things they find. You guys are back. You've talked with the guard, and he has put his foot down. He has noticed his as his familiar, and says you have to wait 2 days before you have any hope of your request being processed. What are we doing?
Should we find a place to collect ourselves, at least for a little?
Oh, wherever you guys want to go.
Well, we need to find an inn. And then... Salud. Salud. We find an inn. We could also find out more about the town. Maybe a tavern. And then we go from there.
Of everything.
That they do. So follow the noise and the drunks and the smell of food.
Cool. You guys wander around for a little bit. You seeing corners. And this town seems to be dated about 2,000 years into the past. As you do, you finally find yourselves at an inn. And what do you guys do? There's a place to park your carriage. That's for sure.
When they hop off, she's gonna go inside, and I'm calling upon her background feature as a mercenary veteran. Does she recognize any mercenaries in here?
I was hoping you'd ask that question.
I'm both excited and terrified.
As you're a Sirosa, you look around and you see a man, a dark elf man. His skin is almost as dark as what you would call a drow. Not as dark, so you know very clear that he's not a drow. And he's wearing what seems to be a gold-lined leather armor. And he has one short sword on his hip, and he has 2 daggers on his lower back. You recognize him to be the legendary assassin. And his name is Fulton Kilroy. You've read books about him, you've studied his craft, and you've known him to have only lived a millennia ago. You see, as you inspect him more and more, you see a familiar flower on his chest. What do you do?
What is this flower?
Don't. No. Not the same flower we just.
Give me.
Hold on.
Give me.
Because Connor is getting fed her thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So walks in, sees, and goes, oh, like mentally just, oh, as she runs through the information she knows about this guy. Tries not to look as
Starstruck.
It's this like, it's both starstruck and competitive and suspicious all at once. And just takes a seat at a table, kind of keeps observing the space, but he's definitely her focus.
Okay, Connor, since you can hear her thoughts, you also notice this familiar flower on his chest.
Isn't this the same flower that Tal had?
Yep. It is indeed.
Okay.
As you look around, you see that everyone has a flower like this on them somewhere.
Which one of us is noticing this? Connor? Okay.
Connor, you notice this now.
Takes a seat, kind of waits for the others to join her.
Connor's gonna get down. he's gonna tell Romanor, get the horses in the stable and get us inside quickly.
Okay. He does so. Walks in completely oblivious.
Connor instantly goes towards Azurus and just looks at her. It's like, did you get the rooms?
I have done nothing but sit here
Okay.
because
Mm-hmm.
and points.
I know.
Even that. Nah.
He just whispers to her, "Have fun fangirling." And then he's going to,
Stabs him under the table.
and then he's gonna go inquire about the rooms for them.
Okay.
Normally he would ask for 2, but at this point he's gonna ask for the 1 because he is not letting anybody out of his sight right now.
Cool. You ask for 1 room, and she says that'll be 1 silver piece.
Connor hands her 2 silver pieces and he just goes for 2 nights.
She looks and says, "What is this money? This isn't money." So she hands it back to you. She's like, "I'd appreciate it if we didn't play games. This is an establishment of business after all."
You're right. I'm so sorry. This is from another country. Forgive me. I haven't been able
course.
to actually stop anywhere to get the correct coinage.
Well, once you do, I'll keep the room reserved for you. How's that sound?
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right.
He's going to take the silver. He's going to pocket the silver. And then he's going to go over to Az and just be like, at some point you need to use your finesse
He just
to
smiles.
take care of a certain situation we have.
Ah, yes. Steal money from the dead.
She's gonna nod, and she's gonna get up, and she's gonna go outside first, and is going to look around and see if there's any easy marks.
Give me a perception check.
She's got a passive 19. Yeah, I'll roll.
No.
Yeah.
There's a reason for this.
I know. It's you.
21. That's great. That's great. Great roll. 21. You notice there are a bunch of people who look like they would have some money on them that you could easily take from, but out your periphery, you notice Fulton Kirwar are eyeing you.
Nope. But also, she takes mental note. Back to him later. She eyes the group and knows that a distraction is always best when picking pockets. So she kind of,
Connor, you hear that in her mind.
I'll come back to you later. It's what you hear. And so she kind of steps back where no one can see. She summons Katai. Lets him.
Connor,
sit on-
I'm gonna say, is actually drinking as she says. He just like has a. He probably has like a glass that he actually has like a small little wine pouch, and he just kind of fills it in. And as he's drinking it, all he hears is, "I'll get back to you later." He will spit it out.
But she sets Katai down, and then Katai goes and just starts fuming around there.
As that's your distraction. That is what you need to use. People are now looking at Connor at this spectacle of this man who just choked on some ale. What are you gonna do?
Cool. She's gonna walk up to whoever it seems like. When no one's looking at her, she is going to go, and I will sleight of hand this to pickpocket. And I get advantage because they're distracted.
Yeah.
26.
26. Let me roll for Fulton real quick.
Pickpocketing this man.
No, you're not. No.
Definitely not pickpocketing that well.
But I
Don't
want
tempt me.
I just want to see if he sees. You know.
pickpocket one of the flowers.
No.
Oh snap! I forgot. He's got a high ass perception. Good luck. No, yeah, he
Pockets of
definitely
flowers.
sees that.
Pickpockets
And-
flower, drops dead.
you find 10 gold pieces in this person's pocket.
So she picks pocket, like kind of stands over to the side, like pretending to like ogle the spectacle. And then she sends Katai running in a different direction to knock something over. And then once he's knocked it over and people look that way, he disappears and she goes and sits back down.
Okay, cool.
And then she hands Connor half of the money because, you know, it's her. She hands him the 5 gold. I did my job.
Connor doesn't say anything about it. He just takes the gold, gets up, goes back to the counter, puts 1 gold on the counter. Like, sorry, I had to wait for them to actually go back to the car to pull it up to actually get us the money.
She looks at it and she says, "That's perfectly fine." And she hands you 8 silver pieces as change.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Pockets takes the rest, puts it into his pouch, sits back down with them, and he holds the key. He's like, we have 1 room, and we will confer about our plans there.
This dark elf walks up to you all, and he says, and he looks at you and he says, "You got a good pair of hands on you."
Tell me something I don't know.
You're also very confident, I see. He hands you a piece of paper, and he walks off. And he says, "Give me a call if you're interested."
I know this isn't
Has
this
got
podcast,
somebody's
but to
number.
me, it's just like, if only in real life you could just pick up dudes by, you know, pickpocketing people.
You look at the piece of paper, and all it says is his name, and it also has a mask on it.
The mask?
Yeah.
And you just watch this, like, it's shock, and then it's offended, and it's almost betrayed. Like, really? Can't be them. And she just kind of closes her hand around the paper. I need a drink now.
You see him stop and turn around, and he says, "Let's talk tonight if you have a chance. Here, in the tavern."
I won't be anywhere else.
And he nods and he walks out.
Definitely need the drink now. She goes to get a drink.
Can you give me like 1 minute also, because hearing
Yeah,
your
the one
thoughts,
without question. Did he say that? Hearing your thoughts? Turn around and sock him in the arm. Not, you know, like deal it just.
mm-hmm.
Hey, leave him alone.
Niffa. And then goes off to get the drinks. She brings him back, hands him one, and just sits there and starts drinking hers.
What
She's
you got-
kind of like, she's
When are
almost
Connor and Az
counting
going to get
at this
married?
point.
I'm so tempted to have Ramanor say something right now.
Just say it. Just say it.
You know, when kids used to hit each other, you used to think they liked each other. Is that what's going on here?
She then sits up and socks Ramanor.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to say you like us? Okay.
Just Connor hears just so much exasperated cursing in her head.
This is not enough alcohol for this.
You're right. And she gets up and gets more.
I think that's her way of saying that she trusts us now.
Maybe, possibly. Who knows anymore?
key.
Anyway, he just looks at us like, you do realize that we're all staying in the same room because.
I'm aware.
Okay, hands her the key. We'll be
Takes
up
it
in a
and
minute.
walks upstairs. It's like, how can he just hear her thoughts no matter how far she is?
There's a range, but you'll find out how far that range is later.
Romrod
Walking
gets up
away.
and goes to get a drink himself.
He's just
He doesn't have any of the money.
freaking
No, you
gentle
don't.
giant and stupid assassin being a mask and just.
You walk up to the bar. Oh, can I get a water?
Connor just raises his hand. I'll pay for it later.
Water's free here, and he hands you a nice large goblet of water.
And do you happen to have milk?
No, not here.
Ah, it's all right. Thank you.
Az is basically just gonna go upstairs and like change her clothes from the traveling clothes to slightly more comfortable under her stuff. Set down some things, and then she'll come back downstairs. And she's got Katai on her shoulder.
When she comes down, she finally sits with us. Connor's gonna look to see if there's anybody close enough around them to hear anything he's about to say.
Not really, no. It's getting pretty close to closing time. Not too many people are there.
Okay. At that point, Connor's gonna lean forward. And he's just gonna go, I don't think you both have realized, but they're all carrying the flower Tal had that he mentioned he made for his friend. And the effect of that flower is meant to actually sustain, well, keep decay from affecting a body.
You're saying these are all dead people?
I don't know. What I'm saying is, this town is 2,000 years in the past. And they all have that flower.
I like this place less and less.
This dark elf man walks back in and looks you dead in the eye and sits at a random table.
She finishes her current drink, looks to the other two. We'll be back. And gets up and goes and sits across from.
As
Or
she
don't have to.
heads over, Connor just goes, "Don't worry. I'll be back up if you need." Just think.
I transfers to his shoulder and just like flicks him in the face with his tongue. But
The man looks at you and he says, I'm looking to start a group. A council, if you will. It will be of some of the best rogues in this world. And we'll just keep everything in check. If you have something you need to protect, you stay there. And as we get old, we can age out and select our beneficiaries or the people who will follow behind us. The goal is to really keep the world safe, whilst doing our roguish things, of course.
Me having an internal freak out, as also having an internal like momentary gears just stop and then just start going in overdrive. Just
You look at him, and as one of the rogues that you idolized, who you modeled your work after, who you really wanted to fight, and who you wanted to be better than, realized started what you are now fighting to end. What do you do?
I'm going to need a little more explanation on how you plan on saving the world while stealing right from under the noses of those who live in it.
He looks at you and he says, I never said save, more like keep the world in balance. The world is full of many things that you could steal that would throw it into complete turmoil. Think of the city of Hugate. If we were to steal the gem that sits at the center of that city, what would happen then? Or the city of Khatun, it seems to be thousands of years into the future from all of us. What if we stole their secrets? Our job is to protect those and know where they are, because us as somewhat integritous rogues, we would know that having the gold, knowing where the gold is just as good as having it.
Ooh.
Just as a preference, friends who are watching this game, I have had 3 weeks to plan this, so.
Are you giving me this answer right now kind of ultimatum, or do I get time? I mean, we've only just met.
I saw what you did. I think you have the potential to do much, much more.
And how do I know that you're any better, if at all even equal? And she kind of like leans forward on the table, because he has no idea she knows who he is.
That's fair. He shows up right behind you. Is that enough?
My brain is going a million miles an hour trying to figure this out.
Connor is just like 1 second away from casting a spell if he sees her in danger.
So I don't get time to answer? Is it just now or never?
You can answer me in a couple of days. That's perfectly fine. As you're an elf, right?
Half.
You notice on his back as he goes to sit down is a bow that is only known from legend. He's wielding something called the Oath Bow.
Ooh.
And you can tell that only elves of high repute or someone who is very good at what they do can get their hands on it.
I do want to take my time, but perhaps I could be enticed a little more with a little help. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
He looks you up and down and says, "What is it you want from me?"
Me and my companions need to get into the castle, and we need some of that mighty fine whiskey to appease a celestial. Now they want to take their time, but we'd like to get it sooner rather than later. Any suggestions?
He looks at you and he has a grin on his face. He says, "How about we take this as your initiation?"
All right.
You get in, you get out with that whiskey, and you can count yourself as the second member of the council.
So many mixed feelings.
He holds up a wooden mask with the number 2 carved into the forehead. Is Connor actually eating popcorn watching this? That's what someone asked.
Nope. Connor is drinking his ale as he watches this. And he's getting the play-by-play of her internal thoughts, so it makes it even worse.
Not the normal porcelain mask you're used to, but
Yeah.
from knowing what you can tell, that you're in 2,000 years in the past, that this would track. He says this mask is made from a very rare substance called ironwood.
Ooh.
Important question.
Sure.
The amulet allows Connor's thoughts to go into her, kind of like a.
You have to willfully choose to speak to her, though.
Mm-hmm. But only she'd hear it in her head, right?
Yes.
Okay. She'd end up feeling a small little nudge mentally. If you're going to do this, we'll be behind you in any way we can to make this easy. But you should ask him or mention what would happen in our current time, just to see what he says.
She can talk back to him through the amulet, yeah?
Through your head, you have to think. Yes. Think,
Yeah,
think,
she
think
can-
your thoughts.
She can think at him.
Yes.
And she just thinks at him. She's like, what exactly from the current time are you wanting me to ask him? Tell him about.
What item would somebody want to steal to throw the world out of balance and destroy it?
Like, she can't nod because she's not talking to him. She's like, I have one more question.
Yeah.
The potential being a part of this. You say there are items that could throw the balance of this world off its center. What kind of an item would do that?
There are many. The Cathedral of the Fallen's Cross. The center of the city of Camor. The hammer that sits atop the Hammerfall Hills. The majestic city of Harwin. Yeah, that entire city, if that city were to be destroyed, there'd be no coming back from that for our entire world's economy. Let's not forget the gem that sits at the center of Hugate. Oh, and lastly, let's not forget the lost hive of necromancy. Well, I guess some people might call it the hive, but I figure people will forget about it soon enough.
Sus. Big sus that he. Okay, we're gonna file that away for later examination. She nods. All right. And how do I contact you when I get my hands on this whiskey?
Get out. I'll be right here.
Good to know. And then she just gets up without another word and goes back to sit with her friends. She exits her seat, leans back, and looks at Connor. Waiting.
How do you want to do this?
Someone on Twitch is asking if we want to become famous. We can buy followers, guys.
What? No way.
Word?
Dude. Totally want to buy the followers.
Of course.
And my broke college kid ass.
I'm not a college kid, but I'm still broke.
It'd be like that.
He said preach.
How about we take this upstairs and rethink?
Oh, what's going on?
Upstairs. And she gets up and just starts walking for the room.
Connor's gonna get up and just go and just look to Ramanar. Just follow me. Follow us.
Ramner will stand and go.
He goes.
They both go upstairs.
Once they're in the room, sets it up, closes the door. Find a seat. Seat. She kind of like turns it around, straddles it. So I know that you heard all that.
Just her side. You only heard her side, Connor.
Mm-hmm. Just what you said. Well, just what you thought. I heard.
And she looks to Romanor and just kind of. That, my dear Romanor, seems to be the founder of the Council of Nine.
Huh.
Who wants me to join him.
How is he the founder and wants you to join if they already have?
This town, this town is, for some odd reason, out of time with us. Everything
I mean,
about
looks
it,
old.
everything about it, is set 2,000 years ago.
I mean, it kind of looks like home. The style, anyway.
Romanor, they just found, for the first time ever, ironwood.
It's new to them.
They're going to start
Huh.
planting the ironwood forest at this time.
Okay. So, is this all an illusion then? Or did we go back in time?
I don't know.
No idea. I have my suspicions. I've got quite a few ideas, but nothing concrete. That's not the point. It's kind of the point, but it's not the main point.
Main point of the matter is, you, looking at Az, have an initiation to go through. What is your plan?
Well, we need that whiskey.
As you are faced with the decision, wait for 2 days to get in and out with that whiskey or go now. You are not sure what will happen if you just wait. He might still take the whiskey. He might still take that as your initiation. Or you might want to go now. It all depends on your discernment as a character.
Az is not a very patient person in general, though.
We know. We know. She'll have to learn one day, but
I'm aware of that. I want this done sooner rather than later. And if this can in any way affect the future and give us a better chance of doing what we have to do, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I say, we need to scout out that castle and find a way in and find a way out.
Mm-hmm.
Not get caught. That dungeon master face does not inspire confidence. So, are you with me?
hey, I just never thought I'd need to use my dice tonight, but here we are.
Oh dear God.
I already told you. I have your back.
I mean, I know you're good at night. You and your things. She does that things.
The hook, the voodoo you do.
Voodoo you do. Then she looks at Ramanar and she's like, the armor might be a problem.
Never been a problem before.
I'll figure it out. Sooner rather
Connor
than-
actually, at this point in time, just to make things easy, takes off his armor.
Az will not take off hers because hers does not impede her stealth in any way.
Connor's
So-
does.
We need to be careful, be quiet, and be smart. Let's get some whiskey.
I mean, sure.
Ramanar just
If-
sure,
if-
why not? We're gonna go on an escapade to thievery.
Rama doesn't care. He may
We
be
are
a
committing a
paladin.
felony! Hooray!
He may be a paladin, but he's a paladin of wild nature. He follows the rules of nature, which is chaos.
He has a point.
Um, I can distract the guards if you want me to. Might need some ale though.
Connor gives him
Good idea.
2 gold.
That should be enough.
That should definitely
As
be
we'll
more
give
than
him
enough.
another one. Another 2. Just all the money. Well, not all of it. She's
You know
keeping
what,
some of
hold
it because
Ramanor will walk up to the bar.
Just hold on. Let us figure out a time for. Let us figure out timing.
Wait
Before
just
anything
a
else.
second. You'll see what he's doing.
Mhm.
Uh,
anymore. I'm scared.
how much would it be for a cask of ale?
2 gold piece. That's a lot of ale there, though.
That's fine. You see, I'm a big guy, right?
Guess that's true.
Here's your gold.
She rolls out a whole cask of ale.
Ramanor will pick it up and walk back to the table.
We're
I
up in
think
our
that's plenty
room.
Enough of distraction.
We were up in the room.
Yeah, we're up in the. Which he can just carry that thing up.
Yeah.
No problem. It's Ramanor.
Yeah, that's true.
Ass just kind of. Are you planning on getting him drunk?
I'm planning on getting the guards drunk.
Yes. That was implied.
That actually works.
I wonder. I wonder if a non-lethal poison might go a long ways. Keep him out of.
Distraction.
I was thinking about using the sleep spell.
It won't work on so many of them though.
You only need a small area.
Guys, as you continue to plan and everything is happening, that is where we will end our session for the
God damn it all.
day.
It's okay. That just means we have a week to plan.
Yeah.
Okay. That works.
I figured it'd be best to give a short session as a reintroduction into the game. Make sure we all know what we're doing, how to play our characters. We've been gone for a few weeks. Obviously, the team is very intrigued as to why this city is
Sus.
stuck in the past. Hopefully, they figure it out. They might not. It happens like that sometimes. So, yeah, thanks for showing up. I'm Saquon. There's David, Shaq, and Riley, and I'm excited to keep streaming with you guys and hanging out. I think there might be another one-shot DM'd by David again. We'll have to talk about it. I may or may not be out of town in the coming weeks, and we all know we love David dungeon mastering. So.
As flashbacks.
And with that, we might even invite some other people to come onto our channel and stream with us while I'm out for that week. And if that's the case, then we'll have fun during that time too. So,
Yes.
thanks for joining
yes.
us.
So that means that I get to introduce the guests into our chaos. Even better.
Thanks for joining us. And there should be an announcement on what guests we have in the coming weeks.
Check out our socials.
Check out the socials, Instagram, TikTok. We don't have a tweeter, do we?
No, we don't have a Twitter.
We
I
do
know
not
it's
have a
Twitter.
Twitter.
I know.
We don't have a chitter.
We don't have a Twitter yet.
All right, yeah, and if you guys want to follow us or become our patrons, there are three different levels, and you can gain a bunch of accesses to a lot of different things, things like the map. All the cities that I mentioned throughout this game as a character are actually cities on the map, and as time goes on, you will hear lore about these cities and things about that. The team doesn't even know a lot about these cities, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
You see the best part of all this? As you guys are learning about everything, we are learning about everything.
I figure that's the most organic way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks so much. And you never know. In a year's time, we could have another session set in this world a few hundred years in the future where all these characters are legends. So,
Ooh.
see you guys
Gotta
later.
wait and see.
I need 100 years in the future. Raminori is a tree, and everything is centered around Raminor, the speaking tree.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. See ya.
Appreciate it. See you guys next week.